Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. My name's Gary. We're here in my brother's joint. Beside me, as always, my brother CJ.
And next to me, always to my right, my brother Gary.
How y'all doing? So, it's been a pretty good week for us. We've been busy.
It's been not bad, for sure. Yeah.
We went, ladies and gentlemen, to like the Bass Pro. This structure, it looks like a giant warehouse, but it looks like a huge cabin.
I'm sure it's the big, well, obviously the one in Vaughan, Ontario, but I'm sure it's the biggest one in Ontario. I don't know how big the one in Niagara is.
There's one in Ottawa, too.
Is there one in Ottawa? Oh, that might be bigger because
Could be.
It's farther north, so probably a lot more hunting goes on.
Well, it is a little more close to the main region, really, of hunting.
Yeah, for sure. But there's a lot of hunters down here, too, so.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, it was a great trip. Traffic was good. And, what a impressive store. Like, coming from where we come from, you don't really get
the selection it's the diversity of products, right? I mean, like you go into an outdoor store down home and it's going to be very selective for that region
for sure,
and that's pretty much all you're getting.
And they don't really carry the higher end stuff. You're very pressed to get into the Benelli, like if you're talking shotguns or rifles or anything like that, you're hard pressed to get into the Benellis and the Berettas and stuff like that, especially the higher price tag ones.
You got to buy it online normally.
For sure. Yeah, you order it from a Bass Pro or Cabela's. Well, I guess Cabela's because they're the only ones that ship.
Yeah, Cabela's is the Canadian leg of Bass Pro.
Which weird. Why Bass Pro doesn't have a .ca Canadian version to their website with all the money those guys have.
Well, and it's strange too, right? Because they partnered up with Cabela's. So why not
they bought them.
Yeah, so why not just Bass Pro at all? Yeah. Like, I understand Cabela's is a very widely well-known name, but you could still use the Cabela's brand for the clothing line.
But when you go on the Cabela's website, the Bass Pro logo is up in the corner, but they don't have the selection that Bass Pro does.
Right.
Like, you can't get.
It's so dumb.
Yeah, it's weird.
Like, we're just as big of like a country, obviously not market-wise.
Yeah,
no.
But,
as far as our hunting goes, we're just as into it as they are.
Oh, for sure, of course, yeah. Well, those states like Wyoming, those boys are.
Well,
they're a different breed of hunter. Those boys like live.
Yeah,
eat,
but they
sleep,
grow up on
breathe.
ranches and stuff too. So
they're
always at it.
They don't need to look for places to hunt.
No,
they
just go
800 hectares of land that they privately own.
Yeah,
where they can
just like 1,700 acres,
do whatever they want, which is kind of bananas when you think about it.
Yeah, well, what was the biggest ranch in the world? Was
when we looked at it,
24 million acres.
Oh no, the biggest ranch in the world, that was the 11 million acre ranch.
No, that was
11 million hectares,
which is about 24 million acres.
Australia.
Yeah,
and then the largest one in America was 500,000.
Yep, and then the biggest one in Canada was 480,000
hectares or hectares. Yeah, so 510,000 hectare.
Yeah, that's basically just over 1 million acres.
Fuck, man,
because it's 2.4
acres
in a hectare.
Just to put that 11 million hectare ranch in perspective, Southern Ontario, the piece that sticks down by the Great Lakes, is 14 million hectares.
Yeah.
Which means that ranch is almost the size of Southern Ontario.
Yeah.
That's fucking insane.
Pretty monumental.
That is a giant. I don't even know how you're able to own that amount of land. I think that's weird.
Again, I think that's more of a crown land leased out under this guy's name, and he ranches it.
You would imagine. How the fuck much money would it cost to buy all that land eventually?
$380 million.
Right now.
It's up for sale, folks. You got $380 million to drop on 1.6% of the landmass of a continent.
Of Australia.
Australia's the way to go.
There's fuck all out there, though.
Well, that's the problem.
The outback, right?
Like, that's the problem. It's the outback. There's nothing.
Was it 20,000 head of cattle?
Yeah,
on that ranch.
That's what's there now, currently.
That's a fucking insane amount of cows.
That's a big number. That's a lot of moo.
Holy fuck, man. All the beef.
It's a lot of cow pies.
It's all beef cattle, right?
Yeah.
No dairy. That's crazy. Anyway, we had a great time. Bass Pro was wonderful. And it was the start, well, the beginnings of tracking down a bow for your first one. So
yes,
we did stop by one place in Uptown Waterloo. Well, not Uptown Waterloo, but Waterloo,
yeah,
Northern Waterloo. A few good bows there that you liked.
Yeah,
you came across a couple in the right market range.
Yeah.
What do you think you're going to go with?
Pretty much decided, unless some magical, like barely used bow happens to be in front of me somewhere, it'll be the PSE Stinger Max.
It's a nice bow.
Yep. It's gonna give me, it's a little bit light on the speed.
Yeah, it was it 304 to 312, right?
312, yeah.
Yeah,
so
that's
a little bit slow, but because of the way it's set up with the 7-inch brace height, and it's just a very forgiving bow.
The unfortunate fact is those numbers that they give are like perfect condition numbers.
Yes.
Like I shoot a Matthews Z2, and the feet per second spec on that, if you Google it, is 330 feet per second. Yeah. My bow doesn't shoot 330. Yeah. It shoots more like 300.
Well,
at 60 pounds and a 28-inch draw.
Yeah, I did was watching a bunch of reviews on the Stinger, and it's normally around 290.
Yeah, I figured as much. I figured it would be under 300.
And 290 is normally what he was averaging.
Yeah, that's normal.
Yeah, but that's still plenty.
Oh, it's lots. It's most bows shoot at 300.
Yeah,
the high end velocity bows, like some of the Hoyts and some of the speed like what was it, the full throttle from PSE?
Yeah.
That it claims 350, 360.
Yeah,
but it shoots more around 300, 310.
That's a huge number. That's fucking cruising.
I don't know many bows who shoot.
Well, you're in crossbow territory there.
Yeah.
For speed.
Can you turn us down a little bit?
Oh, maybe, I suppose. Why are we busting over?
We're going to draw right over. There we go. Yeah, I don't know many bows that shoot up to their top end like
no, because again, that's in a jig with everything indoor.
Yeah.
There's no wind.
Dialed to 9,000.
Yeah, maxed out.
Like, I'm sure, like, you take that bow that Joe Rogan had built for him by John Dudley of
that 90-pound sucker,
90-pound draw weight, or 95, whatever it was. Like, that probably shoots at 350 feet per second.
Yeah, that's whacking elephants, man.
But it's also super hard.
Yeah, it's so high strung.
Like, I mean, I'd shoot one. I'd love to have one.
I'd try,
but I don't.
90 pounds.
It would be something to get used to for sure. Man, you'd have to take the time and get into it. And
that's a whole lot of weight.
Some guys shoot 100 pounds. 100 pounds is a lot.
What kind of back muscles you got on you?
I don't know, but it's a lot to hold for. That's the other problem is when you think about a bow, like getting into archery, you have to think about like when you're hunting. There has to be you have to be able to hold that bow for a certain amount of time.
Yes, you got to be able to maintain some level of comfortability. So like,
if your bow is 100 pounds and it has an 80% let off, that means you have to hold 20 pounds.
Yeah.
For whatever duration you need to hold it for.
Steady.
So if you've got to wait for a deer to break a tree line or step out from behind a tree or a shrub or something that it stepped into while you were drawing,
might be 45 seconds.
Take that
might be a minute,
right?
And people think, oh, it's only a minute. Yeah. Hold something above shoulder height, 10 pounds for a full minute and feel the fucking burn.
The other thing that comes with it is even if you are strong enough, like I can hold mine for a pretty good amount of time, but I also only shoot 60 pounds. But as you're there and you're lined up and you settle into your back end, you have the tendency while you're waiting to kind of your muscles automatically start to relax.
Yes,
because it's like, okay, I've got this.
I'm in this place,
and then all of a sudden you break the valley.
Yeah,
and it almost pulls you down. You're like, oh, fuck, you got to pull it back up. Oh, fuck, man. So yeah, it's not an easy task, and I can't imagine 100 pounds like.
No,
what that would be like to consistently hold in a high pressure situation.
I don't think you'd be able to keep your shirt on. Your back muscles would tear your shirt right off.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a fun situation. But that PSE, I think that's gonna serve you well.
Yeah, well, I think
that's the right bow.
I mean, for the learning process, I think the average ability of it.
Yep.
It's not fantastic at anything except for being forgiving, which means I'm going to have times where my wrist is going to break angle a little bit. And no, it's not going to completely compensate, but it's going to help. It's going to make things nicer for me.
And it'll be it's a super adjustable bow.
Yes. And I was also reading too that a big thing with the Stinger for men especially is to add some weight to the bow.
Oh, because
leave your arrows on there.
Yeah.
Put your stabilizer on there.
Right.
Because for men it does seem to be a bit light, so it can kind of. They weren't finding they were getting much lateral movement.
Right.
But they did find they were getting the up and down.
Right.
Just because she's so light. Right.
Yeah. Whereas mine, like mine's pretty heavy.
Yes, yours keeps itself.
Mine's
pretty locked down.
Quite on the heavy side. It's 4.32 pounds.
Fucking tubby.
Which is it's but for a
4
bow,
pounds.
For a bow that's kind of heavy, especially nowadays. Yeah, most bows are on like 4 pounds or under.
Yeah,
a lot of them are around 3.8.
That's what that's what the Stinger
3.8 is a good weight.
Undressed.
Right. Yeah. And mine is so mine's 4.32, not dressed. So by the time you put the sight and the stabilizer on it, you're up around 5 pounds for sure.
Yeah. And that's the other part of the battle too, right? Because not only are you holding that 20 pounds back in your valley, you're also holding vertical weight as well
to keep that straight.
So it's got to be a balance, and you can't let your elbow lock.
No,
that's not going to be any good because then your fucking arm's going to go numb.
Yeah, you got to be bent a bit.
Yeah, so for sure. There's a whole lot of things going on.
And you're always learning when it comes to archery, like
every shot
a feel for something different and stuff like that is you're going to find all kinds of different things that you're going to have to change and adjust here and there as you go along. Like, and what we'll do is we'll take some some slow motion videos.
Yes.
Of like your
release guys will see them.
And how you feel. Yeah, we're going to post some stuff, and we're going to start doing some videos and recordings of target shooting, maybe some challenges I see in the future for sure.
Stay tuned to Instagram for that.
Once you get your feel.
Yes.
Right? Maybe even TikTok. Who knows? Maybe we'll do some TikTok archery challenges.
One thing we're also going to do with this whole once this whole bow buying process gets going, starting basically our next trip out, we're going to start doing some filming along the way.
Yeah.
So you guys can come along and see how the buying process is for any of you who've never bought one before.
Yeah.
We're going to make sure the guys that help us out take all of our measurements properly so you guys can see how that's done, so we can get our draw length and get everything nice, proper, good and safe. And so we'll take you guys through that whole process and make a little mini series.
Yeah, and keep in mind, I mean, we're only speaking from personal opinion. Like,
no, absolutely.
Gary's just getting into archery. I've only been doing it for probably 5 years, so I'm no pro or anything like that. I just know what I like and what I feel, and the lessons I've gotten from people who have been doing archery for 20, 25 years, stuff like that. So, it's all about what you like too, right? It's very archery is very subjective.
Yes. It's unique for every individual. Yeah. It's no different than firing a gun.
Yeah. The only thing is like fundamentals, like finding your anchor, keeping your elbow high, shit like that. Once you get your fundamentals down pat, after that, you adjust what you do. I mean, you take Cam Haynes, for example. I adopted the same kind of thing he does. Like, he anchors his thumb behind his head. He uses the wrist release like I do. Most guys don't put an anchor behind their head. They just kind of find the spot with the string in their nose, right? But I think he's right in the fact that you find that one spot, you get that ball back there, and then you're always on the same anchor point every time, which is
consistency.
I mean, it works. It's consistency, right? At least then you know your anchor's on point.
No matter what you're doing, you just got to keep doing over and over and over till you figure out how to make that way work for you.
Yeah. But it is good forgiving bow. I think it's and nice and adjustable. Like you say, you can go from what 50 to 70 pounds, which is good.
Camouflage.
Any ideas what you're going to start at? 50, 60, 70? Or just going to go right to 70 and...
Well, I'll probably just give 70 a go.
Yeah.
I'll throw 10 arrows downrange just to see how, multiple draws are feeling.
Yep.
If I'm finding I'm getting strained after 5 or something, well, I'll just knock it down to 60.
I used to shoot that diamond core that I had was a 70-pound draw. And I went down to 60 to improve accuracy.
Yeah.
Because it's easier to hold. It's also easier on like reps.
Yes.
When you're putting in reps, when you only got to pull 60 pounds back, it's a lot easier than 70.
Yeah.
When you're putting 50, 60 arrows downrange.
Yeah, well, that's 600 pounds.
Yeah. By the time you're done pulling it, right? It does. It wears on you after a while.
Shit adds up, man.
After what? Like, I think after you're 6 or 7 arrows in, like in a row, like if you really belt through them, your form destroys. Things start to shake.
Slow down.
You don't move. Like you torque the bow easy and shit like that. Like it's not a good situation for sure.
No, you got to have
Take your time.
Nice, slow, even process the whole time. You don't want to be rushing shit.
But what a great field we have to shoot in. 5 minutes from the house,
folks. Y'all gonna be very jealous.
Right up there, got a little canopy, little shooting platform, picnic table. All that good stuff. Now we just need a bow press.
So, folks, you're also going to witness the struggle of trying to buy a left-handed bow because I'm a lefty. So we've already discovered some troubles with that.
Mm-hmm. Nobody carries them.
Not really in stock, right? If you see, if you go to a place and they have some used inventory, every now and then you'll stumble upon a few like that. But most people aren't carrying a new stock of left-handed. They'll just order you one in.
Yeah.
Problem with that is, you might pick it up and be like, oh, yeah, it feels the right weight and stuff. Until you can have the string on the proper side of your arm and the form of the bow and the way it's supposed to be, you're not going to know what it feels like.
And the truth is, you really want to shoot a couple bows. Yeah. Like, not to be picky, but to buy a bow without shooting it is kind of
it's like buying a car without driving.
Yeah, you don't know if you like the feel of it. Yeah. Like, I think the best thing to do is, if you're going to buy a bow and it's possible, because not all the time, like for you, it's not really possible to go in and shoot 4 bows.
No.
And get a feel for them, because the likelihood of them having the 4 bows in the price range and left-handed and at the weight you want and at the draw length, or the ability to set it up at the draw length you want, is
pretty
rare. For me, it's a bit different. I'm right-handed, so they can basically, every bow there I could probably shoot if I wanted to.
Yep.
Which is what I did when I bought mine. Like, I shot an Elite, I shot mine, I shot a Hoyt, I shot a
RX-5,
a Prime. I know the RX-5 is beautiful, but I think that V3 is better.
It is very nice.
I think the Matthews V3
is very nice.
27-inch, nice and compact. I think I would prefer that over the Hoyt. Is lighter.
The Hoyt I was surprised.
Pretty heavy.
How heavy that thing was. And it was only mildly dressed.
But heavier bows are more stable. They less vibration usually.
That thing does look like that. Badass.
But I did watch a couple review videos, and a lot of people went with the V3 from Matthews. Oh yeah, I mean, but it's all feel too. Again, like you say,
it is 100%.
I know guys that shoot Elites and swear by them, and I'm not an Elite. I don't like them that much, right? Like, they're beautiful, but I prefer them. Whatever it is about the feel of a Matthews is great, and the Hoyt's good too. Like you say, it's got a lot of clout.
Yeah,
like you can feel.
Yeah,
and it's weird. Depending on the bow, and you'll realize it when you pull a few back. They might all be the same draw weight, but they all pull differently.
Yes, they all have a different pulling range.
Some are hard up front.
Yep.
Some are harder at the peak. It's real. Some have like you take the valley on mine is real small, whereas if you go to like something like a Hoyt, the valley's a lot bigger.
Yeah.
Right, on most of them.
And I seen another thing too that they were saying that. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the frog, eh?
You got a frog in Detroit.
You know, that made me lose track of where I was.
I don't know. We were talking about bows, and now I'm lost too.
Yeah, well, bows is a very broad.
But I think we should go to another bow shop.
Yes.
See if they've got some lefties there.
Yeah.
And I think you should fire 3 or 4 different bows.
Yeah.
Just to see. Right?
Yeah.
There's lots of bows in your price range. It's probably one of the more common price ranges.
It is.
The 6 to 750 is basically where everybody makes a bow.
That's a sweet spot.
Yep, for sure.
Because a lot of guys that are just hunting with a bow, like not to be bow hunters, but just because they get that extra 2 weeks.
Yeah.
They don't want to go out and spend $1,500 on a bow.
No.
Because they're only going to use it for 2 or 3 weeks a year, or go flick a few arrows down range for something to do. So they only wants to spend $600-700.
And any of you archer guys out there, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but when you break under 500, you're real limited. Number one, a lot of companies don't make much under $500. Canadian, American's very different.
Yes,
$380 will get you a decent bow.
Yeah,
that's awesome. But yeah, there's not a whole lot of options there, and the options that are there, they'll get you by for a starter bow.
Yeah,
but you'll grow out of it quick.
Very.
When I bought my Diamond Core, I think I was taxes in fully dressed, $450 or $500, and that bow, they got old fast.
Yeah,
like I was past it long before. Yeah, it was. But you'll be running RX5 before you know it. I think.
Wow, I don't know about that.
I got a funny feeling.
$2,500, bro.
You get sponsorship by Hoyt, sure. All you got to do is put in the reps, get savage with it, right? Just be listen.
Just start whapping 200-yard shots.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you can make a consistent 160-yard shot and pop 3 balloons, I feel like you're a solid archer.
Manage.
That's our first challenge at 100 yards.
Okay. One balloon. At 100 yards.
1 balloon, 3 arrows.
Okay.
Each.
Yeah. Whoever hits first wins.
At 100 yards. Well, I'll hit the first arrow, so that's going to happen.
Ta-da-de-da-de-da.
That means I got to shoot first, though.
Why is my motor blinking green? Oh, my God.
That'd be fine. Yeah, that means I got to shoot first.
Says who?
Well, because if you shoot, you might actually get it, too.
Yeah.
So I don't want you beating me.
No, we need 2 targets.
Yeah. But it's first to the balloon at 100 yards. So if I let you shoot first, you win.
So we click in, and we get our releases clicked on.
Yeah.
And we stand at the ready, and then somebody counts down 3, 2, 1, go, and we draw, and whoever hits their own balloon first.
Oh, that's a good.
Wins.
Okay, I'm in on that. Yeah. That's fair.
Let's shoot at the same balloon.
No. That's not what I meant. I meant separate balloons, but first to it. But that's a race to it is better.
Yeah.
Maybe I just shoot your arrow out of the sky.
Oh, yeah. Now we're getting into it now.
Get the other one in and just
fuck.
What if it just set up 2 bows and have at it?
No, you'll have somebody out in the grass getting full of ticks.
Pop the balloon.
Sitting with a shotgun, shooting my arrows at the sky.
Yeah.
Full of ticks.
Just complete cheater and just have somebody in the bushes with a pellet gun and pop the balloon. I'll just take the arrow off the rest, and you'll be like, "What the fuck?" I'll be like, "It's fast bow, but
I tell you, man.
What do you want me to do?
350 feet per second.
I believe that's Ed texted us, and I believe he wants to come on the show.
Ed?
Edmund
Brown?
Not ready. Oh, he's not ready, so we're going to just carry on.
Whatever.
Sorry, Ed.
Too bad. So sad.
We're going to keep going. We'll get you on next week.
Yeah.
We'll try. I know, you're a busy man. We get you.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Did you see before? Well, I guess, we can move on from bows.
Sure.
Yeah. Did you see that article I sent you about that diamond that they found in Botswana?
The fist-sized fucking rock.
It's a 1,098 carat diamond, which if you go by the average carat price. Brother, would you like to tell them the astronomical amount of money that diamond's worth?
Yeah, it's $7,670,000,000 dimes.
Yeah. $7.67 million
for one diamond, and that's rough. That's not even cut. That's not polished. That's nothing.
Giant baseball size.
It's a baseball, like a hardball. Baseball size diamond.
Massive.
Could you imagine bitch slapping somebody with that?
Ladies, if your man buys you a diamond like that, he's a keeper, I think.
Ooh. Either that or he's a sucker.
He might be a sucker too, actually, if he buys a diamond like that.
He buys you a diamond like that, take everything.
That's a lot of money, man, for a diamond. Do you think they'll make one diamond out of it, or do you think they'll...
I think you have done, to, right? No, I think they're done with that stuff.
Think so? What was the diamond before? The Hope Diamond used to be.
The Hope Diamond was a big one. There's a bunch of big diamonds out there, but that was always like a big thing back in time. Like, look at the size of the diamond. And don't get me wrong, it's still a big thing. Obviously, we're talking about it.
For sure.
But it might be $7.6 million in its raw weight.
Yeah.
Like its raw carat form. But you cut that up into a dozen smaller diamonds from the world's largest diamond.
That's true.
Now, all of a sudden, each one of those motherfuckers goes for $4 million.
Because technically, what do you use a diamond the size of a baseball for?
Nothing. Display purposes only. Either that or like one like crazy James Bond laser weapon or something.
Oh, yeah, maybe. That's a good point. Yeah, because other than that, there's no real purpose for a diamond.
Think of how many chop saw blades you could cover with that shit.
You do a lot of chop saw blades. That's what you got to do with it, Botswana.
Yes, sell it up in powder form.
All you got to do is make a bunch of grinder blades out of it. Cut off wheels.
Sell them out apart.
That'd be perfect.
$5 a pop.
We'll buy one.
Sure.
I could use some.
Stamp MBJ on it.
MBJ cut off wheels from the largest diamond in the world.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
$75 a wheel.
You got a light by any chance?
Well, there's probably one over there on the counter.
Well, I got to go get a light.
Yeah, because I got a microphone in front of me.
Yep.
We don't forget, or we don't really remember everything that we require all the time. So it's pretty common that we're like, I think we forgot something. There's always one thing.
It's okay. Always. Luckily, we have everything in studio. It's just a couple footsteps away, so we're okay.
Yeah. It's pretty convenient.
It's all good. So we're going to burn this one now.
Oh, my God. Don't burn the house down.
I try not to. You know what I didn't realize the other weekend is Anderson Silva fought a boxing match against Julio Cesar Chavez.
When?
Last weekend.
What? I didn't think he did any fighting anymore.
Chavez?
No, Silva.
Oh, yeah. It's like a celebrity boxing match, really. Oh, like they're old retired fighters. Yeah. Julio Cesar Chavez is one of the best boxers they ever lived. Anyway, they had a fight. I don't know what the results are. I'm going to watch it because I wanted to stay blind to it. But I think Anderson Silva did pretty well from what I see on social media anyway. But
it's like an actual like boxing match, or is it an MMA match?
No, it was boxing match. Yeah. Boxing match, yeah. I don't think Chavez would fight.
No.
Anderson Silva in a UFC fight.
I wouldn't fight Anderson Silva in a UFC fight.
You know what? The truth be told is none of those boxers I don't think would do very well in the cage.
No, not in an octagon. No way.
If you're smart enough as a UFC fighter, you would never stand up with one of those guys and bang anyway. You just immediately pull him to the ground.
Fucking right. Take him down, wear him the fuck out, and then just bomb elbows on his forehead. Beat him.
That's all you do, for sure. This is the smart thing to do. If you tried to box with a boxer,
just knock you the fuck out.
Although it would be a weird change for them with the 4-ounce small gloves. Like you can't really guard the same way. Boxing. You know what I mean? Like,
but at the same time, neither can you. So he's being used but what I'm saying throwing a 10-ounce or 11-ounce glove, whatever it is, and trying to squirt that between a set of gloves or between a set of forearms.
Yeah.
Now he's got these little tiny gloves that he's got to avoid.
Yeah.
So he's like, oh my God, I got a fucking baseball field there.
Yeah. But at the same time, the UFC fighters use the small gloves.
Yeah, but you don't look like. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, UFC fighters focus on striking.
Oh, obviously. For sure, of course,
of course. Yeah. But as a professional boxer, that's your only focus.
That's very true.
So while yes, the UFC fighter is used to the 4-ounce gloves, used to looking at an opponent wearing 4-ounce gloves.
Yeah.
The guy who only knows how to throw hands, he's going to have a little bit more of an advantage.
He definitely is a superior
for throwing. I don't think he's going to be superior in defending.
No, but you're right.
He's used to using his gloves as defense.
His hand speed is going to be faster.
Yes.
He's probably going to hit harder.
You're fucking right.
Because he knows how to pivot right.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure UFC fighters
he's
do too,
got knockout power with, 2.5 inches of foam in front of his hand.
I'll tell you what.
And now you got a half inch of foam in front of you.
There's a real good fight coming now that Deontay Wilder's going to fight Tyson Fury again.
Ooh.
That's going to be a great fight.
We will have to watch that.
We're watching that one for sure. That's a heavyweight title fight.
Yeah.
That's 100% we're watching
Big
that. And then
dogs.
after that, Joshua, you motherfucker. No, I'm just joking.
Oh.
You're a good guy, actually. You're probably the nicest guy in boxing. I hope very much to see you versus Tyson Fury.
That'd be good Joshua. Too. I want to see Canelo fight.
Yeah, he's a savage.
I'd like to see
he's got.
I haven't seen any of his fights. Actually.
He's got one coming up in September. He's got a mandatory coming up.
I'll look him up. Brother, you Bogarts that joint some bad you does.
Here, buddy. Some bad.
See what I'm talking about, folks? You see what I got to deal with all the time?
Hogging weed.
Bogart in the joint, eh?
That good. What the fuck is Bogart in the joint?
Bogart.
That means hogging it?
Holding on to it, brother.
I got you.
Holding on to it.
Not giving it over.
Like Humphrey Bogart, eh? Hangs on to his money, eh?
Yeah, fair enough.
Bogart's jewelry.
Bogart's jewelry. You know, I heard, I don't know if this is true or not. Please, somebody correct this if this is wrong. But I heard De Beers owns all the diamond supplies in the world.
Well,
which means they control the diamond prices.
There's only like 2 or 3 real big dogs.
Yeah.
In the diamond world. You go to Antwerp, there's lots of players.
Yeah.
But there's only a very select handful that are like the key players.
Yeah. I'm curious if that's true, if they own all the diamond supplies in the world now.
Well, the tricky thing is too, is that they can basically start a new company, like De Beers could start another company, which is basically a shell corporation.
Right.
Because it's still them.
But that was a real thing back in the.
But it's still a real thing.
Yeah,
people are opening shell companies every fucking day.
But it was a real problem.
Yeah,
a long time ago before they had legislation in place.
They couldn't trace anything back then.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's like, oh no, it's a real company.
Yeah,
no, it's not.
Meanwhile, it's in like down in fucking Panama somewhere.
Yeah.
Just some small office building that they pay like 3 cents a month for rent for. And that's it. They got one lady working in there. They pay her like $1 a day.
Just to answer the phone.
It's like, hello?
If it rings.
Yeah.
De Beers, if this rings.
De Beers, we're not saying you did that. Fucking example.
No,
we also don't give a fuck if you do.
Yeah, I don't really care.
Make your money.
Yeah, just don't be like hurting people. Give her more than $1.
Yeah.
For like $1 an hour.
Just give her a diamond.
Oh, like a big one. There you go. Give her that big one there.
7.67 million.
Yeah. Hey man, you
some
think?
Bow if you had 6.
Yeah, but you think though, without someone like her, it could all come tumbling down.
That's a good point. Or if she
answered the phone and spoke the truth,
yeah,
just was like, now listen, these motherfuckers, they got me answering this goddamn phone. I'm telling you right now,
they don't pay me shit.
They don't pay me fucking nothing. They give me $1 a week.
You fucking idiots
they
pay
don't
me some
even
money.
give me
I'll sell
no
them down the river in a heartbeat.
The only power is run through the phone line, so I'm here answering the phone in the dark.
Yeah. No, it happens.
Oh my God.
That's fucking crazy.
Yes. Well, you look at countries like, I'm pretty sure it's Peru. Water is privatized.
That's retarded.
Water. Drinking water. Every water. The ponds, the lakes, the rivers. None of it's public access. It's all privatized water. How do you fucking own water?
Yeah, that's a weird. Fresh water especially.
Like, I'm pretty sure.
Fuck salt water, who cares?
But I'm pretty sure that a worldwide right, a human right.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Is drinking water.
Can you own a body of water in Canada?
Well, technically you don't own the physical water.
No, that's not what I mean. But can you own, like, if there's a pond, like a lake on your fucking property, like somebody with a giant ranch?
Yeah.
I guess you own. Lake? Well, you might not own the lake, but you own the access points all to it, which means it's still
depends on how they. All depends on how the zoning and stuff would go, I guess. Really.
Yeah. If you had a giant ranch and you had a big pond in the middle of it.
Well, what happens when you dig your own?
Yeah, you basically
right.
You don't. Yeah, like you say,
you don't give up control.
You don't own the pond, but you own the access land to the pond, so nobody can get on your pond anyway because they're trespassing to get to it.
Yeah, but like I say, think about it. Say we go out and we buy 10,000 acres.
Yeah,
and it's all just flat land. Say we buy like the most important part of Saskatchewan or something.
Yeah,
which is nowhere.
He's joking. Yeah. You make wheat and barley.
That's true. You're very important.
Barley.
Tain't no beer without you.
That's true. Plus, you have great farmland.
But yeah, like say you buy 10,000 acres in the middle of nowhere and it's all completely flat with no water.
Yeah.
And you say, I'm building a fucking pond.
Yeah.
But people does it all the time.
I think it's different.
But then you relinquish, what do? Relinquish power of the pond once it's completed, but not the access to the pond?
No, but I think the difference is
man-made versus natural.
Yeah. They wouldn't consider that, like, for example, you wouldn't have an environmental like debate with them or have to apply for environmental things to get around the pond. Like if you wanted to build something near it, because it's a man-made pond. I think they would be much more strict on, I don't know how to say it, but
that's kind of tricky though, because at the same time, if I was a government official, I'd be like, you made a habitat.
Yeah, but if
you didn't ask you to make a habitat,
yeah, but you have
put that habitat there, now you have to maintain it.
No, but you have to think about it like in the opposite way. And like, if you put the pond there, you can move the pond whenever you want. Like, let's say 10 years down the road, you want to put a cabin, you can move,
get rid of it. Yeah,
but you would never be allowed to do that with a natural pond.
No,
ever.
No.
Now, especially maybe in America, I don't know, but fucking Canada, I don't think you'd be able to touch a body of water.
I don't think you would.
Although I did work for an oil company one time.
Didn't they drill, and then
full fucking lake?
Yeah, I remember that.
A full lake.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, now this is what they told us. I don't know if this is true. It sounds like a pile of shit, but apparently they dredged the lake, took out all the fish and animal life, stored them alive, didn't kill any apparently, and then they brought in a mapping system and mapped the entire bottom of the lake.
Oh, yeah.
Made the lake 5 kilometers down the road exactly like they mapped the bottom of that lake.
Yeah. LiDAR.
And then move the water and the animals over.
Yeah.
Now, I will firmly buy into the fact that they probably moved the fish and the water.
The whole topographical thing.
But I highly and I'm sure that they brought in the mapping device and mapped it because they had to play the part.
Yeah.
When the Alberta Environmental showed up.
You gotta play the show.
You gotta play the part. But I doubt that they made an exact replica of the bottom of that fucking lake 5 kilometers down the road.
They dug a hole. They just went, how deep is it?
All
right,
yeah,
we'll dig
what is
a hole
it?
That deep.
Yeah. And then slope the fucking banks.
Yeah.
Put the stupid fish in. 100%.
Yeah, I could totally see it. It'd be worth it for them if they're looking at fucking $50 billion worth of oil for a $10 million project.
Yeah, I won't say what company. But they also said whenever they would do a hydrovac for like a new pile cap,
yep,
which is a concrete tube that goes basically like a sonotube, only way bigger.
Much.
They also said any dirt that came out of that hole was bagged, tagged, put in a warehouse, and tagged with the longitude and latitude so that 40 years from now when that plant's decommissioned and it's torn down, that same dirt goes back in that same hole.
Horseshit.
I smell the biggest I remember I was 23 or 24 years old when I was told that, and when they were telling the crew, and all I could think was, how much shit is coming out of this man's mouth right now?
They don't make shovels that big.
Mm-mm.
There ain't a loader on this world that'll move that.
Yeah. Also, how big was your fucking warehouse, bro? Because I remember the dirt that came out of that bitch, and I'm telling you right now, you would have some awful warehouse.
Madge, for every head at that.
Man, each one of them tubes was like 12 feet in the ground. Like 12 feet of concrete by like, I don't know, fucking
a lot.
10 feet wide, 10 by 10.
Oh, easily 100 cubic feet.
Yeah, for sure.
Of concrete. Not even square feet, cubic feet.
Yeah. Like, that's a lot of dirt you got to.
Yeah.
For a full oil site. I don't know if you know how big a full oil site is, folks, but they're fucking massive.
Like the size of PEI.
Yeah. Also, why would you do all that work when you're strip mining?
Well,
and don't dare try to tell me all the dirt you take out of the strip mine is going back in the same longitude and
latitude. Same fashion.
Get the fuck out of here.
All that dirt, come on now.
This is literally like a hole in the ground the size of a city. Like, the strip mines there easily the size of Cornerbrook.
Oh, yes.
No problem.
Yes. No question. I don't.
And there's usually 3 of them.
Yeah.
Normally. There's no way they did that.
No.
That's bullshit.
Because then they wouldn't be making any money.
I'm calling you out on your credit. Yeah,
that would take way too much money. So much capital to do all that. Be unbelievable and unrealistic.
I also worked for one company that used to just pay the fines instead of putting the scrubbers or whatever on their stacks. It was literally cheaper. The fine that the Canadian government had come up with
was cheaper than the parts.
Was cheaper than doing the upgrade to the stacks. So they just went, well, whatever. Here's a big check.
Jesus Christ.
You literally get the inspector, come up, get the fine, hand him the check, and fuck off.
Yeah.
If that story's true. That's also secondhand information, but who knows? Listen, you get up on a fucking oil site, you get bored, okay? You're sitting in a fucking camp all day. I know fellas that believe in the saying, if you haven't heard a rumor by 10 o'clock, start one.
Yeah.
I'm not joking. They're like, fuck this. Yeah, have you heard anything yet today, Jim? No, I haven't heard fuck all. He said, well,
better start something.
I heard Bill was getting fired. I mean, like, just what the fuck is going on? And then all of a sudden, by 3 o'clock break, everybody's like, man, did you hear Bill's getting fired?
Yeah.
What the fuck did Bill do? One fella heard he punched the supervisor. One fella heard he was smoking when he wasn't supposed to be smoking next to a hydrogen tank. One fella heard he drove a truck and backed it into the supervisor's trailer.
19 different stories.
40 different stories. And by the end of the day, Bill's so fired up he almost quits.
Yeah,
goes right up to the general foreman and says, anyway. Fuck you, why are you going to fire me, you cocksucker? And Buddy's just bewildered look on his face. He's like, I don't know.
What do you mean?
And then fire? You see the look across everybody's face, and everybody's like, oh, because he's gone out the rails for another.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, it's terrible.
All right, folks, I got a question for you. Who out there still uses a physical map in their car?
Oh, that's a good point.
A real map. Doesn't necessarily have to be like the big fold out job. It can be like the little book, the little atlas type. But if you use one, let us know, because we went to the store the other day and we picked up a couple physical maps and a big accordion style one that I obviously folded much down into the right size. Yeah. And then we bought a flip one. It was actually really kind of nice to be back using. Jesus, right? You're some terrible at handing. I know, fucking Christ, you gotta let go with a thumb.
But yeah, it's over.
You let go with a thumb.
It was a different experience for sure using a map.
Yeah, like, I mean, when I was driving tow truck, I was using a map all the time.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time I used a map.
But, man, it was just, instead of the scrolling and...
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, it's much quicker, it's much simpler.
Yeah.
But there's just something about having that physical book or that piece of paper.
Yeah, it makes it feel like more of an adventure.
Yeah, like you're going and you're looking through the roads, and of course you got to have your finger stuck out.
Yeah, there's Buddy's field there.
Yeah, and you're like making you make up your own legend. Yeah, because you're making your own symbols on there, so that way only you end up knowing how to read it. Anybody else sees your map, you're like.
Basically, what's going on, folks, is we're spotting hunting ground, like turkeys,
we're going bird
watching, stuff like that. So what we do is we mark them on the map. So that we know what farmer to go back to and ask for permission to hunt his land.
Yeah.
Or if it's public land, we make a note of that as well.
See, because we have terrible memories.
Oh, yeah. I had to have a fella pull me out of the ditch the other day. Shout out to you, buddy, with your tractor. You're a good dude.
Fine tractor, too.
Yeah,
that
very nice tractor.
Fucking ass.
Yeah, it was,
coming down his driveway?
Whoa. He was cruising.
I was like, fucking Christ.
Anyway, the gentleman was kind enough to pluck us out of the ditch there because we had parked too close to the shoulder. And apparently in Ontario, it's a shoulder and then a complete 90-degree drop-off.
Pretty much, yeah. As soon as the grass starts,
it's
the shoulder stops. It just disappears.
So what had happened is somebody had cut the grass the same height as the shoulder of the road, and it's so thick that it looks like it's wide shoulder, and then the taller grass starts. Well, we went to pull over to the side of the road, and nope. Down it went, and we went, oh, fuck.
Because
I almost tipped over. It was literally on the list.
Well, yeah, because we pulled over, and we were good.
Yeah.
Because, we pulled over because we seen this fucking bull cow.
Yeah, this is what having a squirrel brain does to you.
Yeah. So we're driving along. We just come off this road. We turn left, come up this little hill. We see a bunch of cows up there in the farm. Like, oh, yeah, nice cows. And then all of a sudden, we see this giant orange bull cow come charging at the fence at us because we're looking right at him. He's looking right at us. Like, he wasn't looking
as
at
we were driving by.
He's looking at us. And he was like, and come stomping by the fence. So we were like, oh, fucking sweet.
Yeah.
So
because in Newfoundland, you don't get to see a lot of bulls. I don't know.
No,
why.
they're just usually bull moose. Right?
Yeah.
So we pull over. I'm like, oh, okay, sweet. We're going to back up, take a look. And as soon as you started backing up, like it was the instant, right? So there's nothing you can do. It's just once there's no ground, there's no ground.
That's it.
Gravity kind of wins.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was like, butter.
Yeah.
And we just kind of,
and I was like, oh shit. Because the angle we were on, I was like, there's no fucking way I'm driving out of this.
No.
It was borderline tipping over.
Oh, she was close. Like your little angle meter thingy in the off-road screen,
I
that would have been like ding 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 ding.
I checked
ding,
it.
ding,
I looked
ding.
at it. It was at like 49 degrees or something like that. Like it was another degree or two, and it would have been on its side.
Yeah, I don't know how she held on. I really thought she was gonna go.
I did too.
I really
when he started pulling, I was like,
no. I figured when you got out.
Actually, I thought about it as I was getting out. I was like, maybe I shouldn't get out of this truck right now
because obviously I was in the passenger side, so I'm down the downward side. So, by the way, trying to get out of a vehicle that's extremely listing, especially if it's got a door any bigger than, say, like a cat's ass.
It weighs 6 tons like mine.
It's 1 billion pounds.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to like slowly let this door out.
Yeah.
So it doesn't crash into the ground. It would have made the weight shift and fucked.
And to be honest, now that I think back on it, that was a real dumb idea because if you would have been halfway getting out when it decided to go and it pinned you,
I would have been in your lap.
You would have fucking better been, or
this part,
or the truck would have pinned you.
But anyway, I got out. No so I get up and around. I'm sizing it up. All right, get out. So he comes to get out. Obviously, I got to open the door too to help.
Yeah, because I got to lift.
Door is like 1 billion pounds of vertical weight now.
Yeah.
So we get him out, and I was just thinking, as soon as I heard your feet down onto the dirt, I was like, I'm worried about closing this door.
Yeah, I know.
Like the extra, like just kind of
might just do it, but it didn't anyway. And,
no. She held on.
Like I said, that fine gentleman gave us a pull
yes, he
out.
come up in a fine looking pickup at first.
Yeah, he did have it. That was like Chevy, wasn't it?
No, that was a black.
That was a Ford. It was a black F-150. Yeah.
So he turned right around. No questions asked. Just went and grabbed his big ass tractor, nice John Deere. And that was out of there in 30 seconds.
Yeah, he wasn't at the time at all. So we dropped off some beer to that man.
Enjoy your Canadian, sir.
Yes. And thanks again.
We'll knock on your door again when we're ready to go hunting.
Yes. We'll see you again.
We'll bring more beer.
Yeah. Bring all the beer you want.
Yeah, we'll bring more
beer.
Have
a couple birds and everything. Whatever you want. No problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're all for sharing.
Shit show. And then we tried to find his house to drop the fucking beer off, and that took us way longer than it should have.
We did a few loops and twisties and went around here, around there, and then we went, all we had to do was go on that first road that we went on.
Yeah. It's not smart.
Like I said, we don't always have the best memories.
Nah. It is what it is.
Yeah. Mind you, I can tell you probably what I had for supper last June, and like...
It's weird. I have a good long-term
fantastic. Well, that's probably the Giants, brother.
That's a good point, actually.
Probably.
Yeah, but I've always
got something to do with it.
I've always been like it.
Well, maybe you just got a bad memory.
And yeah, and I don't.
Maybe you need
I didn't start smoking weed until I was 32.
You do need a lot of repetition before you really get shit.
Oh yeah,
I gotta beat stuff into your head slowly over time.
It takes.
But I gotta be passive aggressive about it, or else you're just like, I don't fucking listen to what people tell me to do.
Yeah,
I'm like, yeah, but I'm suggesting.
Yeah,
like,
I don't like being told what to do, bro. I fucking hate it.
Yeah, but when it's good for you, just shut up.
I know, but sometimes my pride gets the best of me. Almost all the time, actually. I'm
not trying to give you bad advice. Not one bit.
No, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, well,
it's what it is.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, folks, we'll call it a show.
Sure.
Thanks for watching.
It was grand as always to have you. Make sure you hit the like button, hit the little subscribe, and ding the bell so that way you get notified every time we throw up a new video.
Yep. Make sure you hit your auto download on your podcast apps, and follow us on Instagram.
Yes, watch on Instagram. That's going to start getting busy pretty soon. And don't forget, episode 20, we're going to do a little bit of different stuff. So stay tuned for that. That's next week.
Sure is. All right, folks. Good night.